Don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, give it one more try before you give up on
All right, we're turning the microphones on. We're just having fun. We haven't talked in a few weeks, you know.
It has been. I missed you.
I missed you too. Well, life's good right now. I mean, we have a HACCP instructor in front of us now.
That's me. Not instructor. No.
Oh.
I'm a writer.
Writer, sorry, that's even.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting.
It is interesting, and I'm anxious to start. So anybody out there who needs me.
What's HACCP stand?
Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. So, and I had one gentleman. He has a thing down at the farmer's market. He does the meat. And he says, all restaurants should even have these.
Yeah.
But mainly you're talking about meat processors, food manufacturing, things like that. But it's a food safety plan that's in detail from the very beginning to the end, from when you start buying the ingredients.
Wow.
Making sure that the ingredients you buy are certified. So this really gets into it. That's why this is so important, so that the public, general public, gets all this food from food processors, and there's a lot of HACCP programs in control to keep everybody alive.
Now that is so when we've been talking about this, I've just been going, good job, Linda, that's great.
Yeah.
I never really asked what that was used for. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Very
no
much
wonder
so.
it was a huge class.
I know. So it's exciting. I'm learning more. I'm going to continue to learn, and I'm anxious to write my first one here. So
we're waiting for you.
Please.
With that being said, before we start talking about the segment, let's make sure people know when your upcoming classes are. So that way you can take the one, the only Linda Petterson's class. This is the one you want to be a part of.
Yes, I have a lot of coming up. I'm going to Springfield next. I was going to the Crowne Plaza, and then a few days ago I got an email that straight lines came through, straight line winds, and a tornado and took the electricity out of Crowne Plaza. So I don't have a place to stay or a place to have the class.
Oh.
I know. So we scrambled, and I ended up with Abe's Hideout in Mechanicsburg, which is 18 miles east of Springfield. They are an ILBA member.
Oh.
And that's how that came about so quickly, because Kathy Sago from ILBA in Springfield, the secretary, stepped up to the bag.
I love it.
And took control and said, Linda, try them. They need a class. So within hours, I had a place to have it.
That shows how great that organization is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I appreciate. So from there, that's Monday, July 17th. Then the 24th is our infamous Johnson's Corner.
Woohoo!
Our favorite place.
I made the Johnson's Corner website. They updated it. Did you see that?
Ooh.
I got a picture on the homepage, and I got my interview with Jimmy Johnson and Andy up there, too. Look at that. Making the big time.
To my fave, Jimmy and Andy.
24th of July at Johnson's, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the 31st, Monday, I'm going to Mattoon. I know, by Effingham. I got a phone call, so I said, okay, we'll make it happen. And we did. So I'm going there, and then I'm going to Chicago from there for a private class for D.D. Holmes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Then I'm coming back in August 7th, Gaccho's in Fairview Heights. Gaccho's Argentinian Steakhouse.
I've heard some great things about them.
I can't wait to eat there. They were in my class a few months ago at Breeze Turf Bar, and he says, please come have a class at my location. So I'm going to Fairview Heights.
Voila!
Ask and I shall come, right? And then I'm doing the VFW in Staunton, Illinois, August 14th. I got to get out to my little communities out here.
Well, you need
And they
it,
like
yeah.
that. Carlinville, Staunton, all that area.
Well, and I feel like for them, though, Linda, it's good to know that you're going to come out to them because they got to travel so much to get to other classes. So.
I'll travel. I'll go to you, right?
I love it.
Now we're going to August 21st, Bond County Health Department. I'm in with them, right? In Greenville, Illinois.
Wow.
So I get those small communities around there. And then on my birthday, August 26th, a Saturday class. Most all my classes are Monday. And about once or twice a year, I get to have a Saturday one because people are asking. Moose in Wood River, ILBA members. They want to do the class because even though they have the cook there that has it, the volunteer, the board members, they end up stepping in and cooking a lot. So they asked, can you do a Saturday class? Because we all have regular jobs. So here we go, guys.
On your
Saturday
birthday.
class on my birthday. And when I was in the bar business, that was the best day to work.
Oh,
right?
I bet, because they were taking care of you on your birthday.
my birthday. And then afterwards, it was the shots, right? Well, may still have it. I don't know. We're at the Moose Lodge, and they're fun people.
There you go. All it takes
Anyway.
is CJ to catch wind that the class is wrapping up, and here we go. Rumpleman's on a birthday, you know.
Oh. Patron tequila for me,
Oh,
please.
there we go. With that being said, Linda and I talked about this briefly with the glove thing.
Yes.
We did not know we could do 30 minutes on talking gloves.
Gloves.
But it was really fascinating.
It was interesting. I
I actually, I don't know about you, I wanted to buy a couple of those for the house.
I did too.
I thought, talk about the perfect Christmas gift or Mother's Day, Father's Day. I mean, these were actually...
Some of those long ones.
That's the one I want.
Yeah.
Protects the steam. You're going, CJ, what are you guys talking about? You'll find out here.
Watch out.
We go to Ford Hotel Supply with Chef Michael Lapage, the one and only Linda Petterson, SafeFoodSpecialist.com, and myself. So let's do that now. Time to learn all about gloves. It's food for thought on our daily show.
Welcome to Ford Hotel Supply. And this is our July Food for Thought segment. And of course, I have my trusted companion, Chef Michael LePage, and then the one and only CJ the DJ.
That's not sick today. I just want to throw that out.
I thought we was going to lose
you're
him
feeling
last
better.
Oh my God, I don't know how we got through that, but this is really cool, Linda. I mean, we talked, Chef LePage, last time about, how can we make storage and all that? How can we talk for so long? There's a lot of things to talk
30
about.
minutes
Absolutely.
we talked. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. So today I say we're going to do gloves, and I thought, well, there's no way we're going to do 30 minutes. Well, we'll find out. Right?
To be determined.
I'm telling you, it seems like all three of us have something to say. So we'll go from here. We're talking about different types of gloves in the restaurant industry or food industry in general. And this is the man that's knowledgeable. So I'm going to turn him loose.
I got the magic gloves on, so I'll be, I guess, talking about gloves. So,
Yes.
again, today we're talking all about gloves, different kinds of gloves, whether they're, your vinyl gloves, your latex gloves, which we just learned a fun fact about, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
Your synthetic gloves, anything like that, even down to cut gloves, dishwashing gloves, and high heat gloves. So, not just gloves for food handling, but gloves for safe handling
Yes.
for your employees
Yes.
and then for your customers as well.
Right off the bat, I only thought that this was the only glove that was made, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to be honest, I didn't know.
Yeah, so when you get into glove material, that's mainly the big difference is what the
Gotcha.
material the gloves are made out of. So there's, I would say, 4 major glove materials. So you have your vinyl gloves, which are what I'm wearing now. Just standard vinyl gloves, powder-free
The most
or with
common,
powder.
right?
Yeah, the most common.
Most common.
Nitrile, which is Nitrile.
Is that the blue?
Yeah, so you'll
Okay.
see that a lot in medical. That's what a lot of medical fields will use because it won't have latex in it, so there's no risk of
And
allergens.
aren't they a little more durable?
Very durable, very comfortable to wear. Those are the gloves I used to use in all my kitchens because they fit your finger the best, so there wasn't a lot of material on the tips of your fingers. You get more of a natural feel when you're touching the product.
That's important.
It's very, to chefs and cooks, it's very important.
Yeah.
Like if you're butchering product or something like that, to have as much natural feel of it while wearing the
Yeah.
glove. So it's kind of like a relationship you have with the product. You want to maintain
Yeah.
that relationship. And some of these gloves, you don't really get that connection. So with a nitrile glove, you really can get that connection. It's like almost like a second skin almost.
That's actually really interesting, though.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it that way. I mean, it's just it's your tool, basically. You're
Yeah.
using. That
Yes.
makes sense.
Well, you're using your 2 favorite
Yeah.
tools in the kitchen. You want to make sure that you still have the dexterity to use those tools, your hands, as much as possible and as accurately as possible in handling product. Then we have kind of like a synthetic blend here, which those are good. Those are kind of be probably your lower end scale, cheapest gloves. I call them kind of like like, and this is nothing against this company, but like the Subway gloves. You'll see them grab them really quick. They have a little holder, very quick glove to put on and easy to use. However, you'll see like there's a lot of excess glove on the fingertips and then also by the palm and stuff. And what that runs the risk of, it runs the risk of getting that glove product into your food. And then having pieces of glove in your food, which you don't want.
This is what we use to dye our hair.
Yes.
I was actually going to say.
Huge in cosmetics, huge in like beauty supply stores and things like that. Yeah, cheap glove, gets the job done. It does the basic functions of a glove, but it's going to be your lower end glove, not good feel-wise.
So like concession stand stuff where they're getting nachos out and all of that.
Yeah,
good glove.
perfect
for that.
like that. Perfect glove for that. There's nothing wrong with using that glove. There's just other better gloves out there. And then the fourth kind is latex. When we talk about latex gloves, we just learned that the state of Illinois is banning latex gloves by the end of 2024.
Yes.
The main reason for that, it's not that it's not a good glove, it's just that people can be allergic to latex. If you've ever gone to the doctor, the dentist, or anywhere, and they say, first question, any allergies? Are you allergic to latex?
Yep.
Because that's what gloves can be made out of. So in certain states, certain jurisdictions, they are getting rid of the latex gloves, which I think is a good idea. We used to never use latex in my restaurants. It was always the nitrile or the vinyl gloves that
I
we
think I read something about 35 states.
Yeah, I'm sure it's getting very popular.
Yeah.
And it was just peace of mind, I'm sure, for you not wearing them, going if someone has an allergy or is allergic to latex, no worries. You know?
And those were great because they would stretch around your fingers, and that's why doctors really like them because, it's like a second skin on them. So the kitchens loved them because it was a very tight fitting, not a lot of looseness to it, and then you can really get a good feel for the product. But again, you're running the risk of the latex allergy, and that's kind of where nitrile gloves came into play. Was it's a combination of both. You don't get the latex allergy, but you get the dexterity and the form fitting of a latex.
You know, I sold gloves when I was doing industrial cleaning chemicals, and of course I sold gloves with it. And you've got different quality of gloves for what chemicals, because the chemical resistant.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so when you even are dealing with cleaning, you want a glove that's going to stand up to a heavy alkaline.
Yeah.
You know, or you get into acids. Same thing, different type of gloves.
There's some times where we would use a degreaser for an oven, and we'd have to double or triple glove up because it would just eventually would eat through those gloves. So again, that's a great point. Having certain gloves like these, which are a different material, help a lot with that chemical resistance to it.
Before we go on, I keep seeing this powder free. Was there ever a time that vinyl gloves had powder on them?
Yeah, powder.
Still do?
Yeah, some still do.
Really?
What the powder was for was obviously if you're wearing gloves, your hands are going to be sweating and stuff like that. So the powder helps keep your hands nice and dry. Personally, I don't like powdered gloves. The powder, after a while, starts reacting with my skin personally, and I've heard other line cooks and other counterparts of mine have the same thing. So we would buy powder-free gloves. It's just kind of like you're in these gloves for a substantial amount of time. You do change them out pretty frequently, but if you're wearing gloves in a hot kitchen, your hands are going to sweat. So you want to make sure, if powder-free is the way to go, that you're changing gloves out even more, or you want to get a powdered glove. So powdered gloves are mainly for vinyl. You can find some latex gloves with powder in them, but the vinyl gloves really are the powder.
I used to put powder in my hands so I could put the glove on, especially dealing with the latex, because they're so hard to get on.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, and we'll kind of get into this. It sounds silly, but how to properly put on a glove. Like you'll see all different kinds of people doing it all different kinds of way. Some are better than others. Some are not safe at all on how to do it. So
it's another slideshow in my class. I can see it already.
So there's a right way and a wrong way, and you're going to see them all, every way in between of how to put on gloves. But you did bring up a good point before. You had mentioned about the nitrile gloves being different colored. That's a great point because in food service, clear is very hard to see. If a piece of this glove was into a salad, sandwich or something, extremely, extremely hard to see or to catch, or for a customer even to catch it before they eat it. So we used to use either purple, black, or blue gloves in my kitchens, whichever ones were available. I like the purple ones the best because they were fun, color. But
they're pretty.
But you'll see on barbecue videos, like barbecues, they use the black gloves a lot.
All the time.
Blue gloves a lot and stuff. And what that's for is if you're cutting with a glove on and there is a little bit of glove left over, you have a good chance to cut that tip of your glove off. And then that's going into the food. If it's clear, it's much harder to see on a white cutting board. Tossing it into a container of tomatoes or something, but with a blue, purple, or black, those colors don't naturally appear generally in food. Blue for sure doesn't, purple doesn't as much, and black, in some cases it can show up in food. But if you're going through a tossed salad or tomatoes or cutting onions or something, you would see a little piece of blue or a little piece of purple in that product, and you would catch it right away before it ever
Right.
got to your customer.
You know, what they also want you to do is wear blue Band-Aids.
Yes, absolutely.
For
yeah.
the same reason.
Same exact
so
reason.
it shows
Yep.
up in the food.
Blue Band-Aids, even like they have blue finger cots now, where if you
Yeah.
have a Band-Aid, you can put like a little like finger glove on
Yeah.
your finger for it to and it's blue, so again, if it
So you
ever
can
falls
see
in
it.
food, you can see it pretty easily.
Well, and guys, just if you're like me and you aren't a food industry expert, I will tell you this: if they're talking about it, it does happen.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are great
absolutely.
things to talk about.
Yeah.
That's preventative maintenance and keeping us safe and not sick.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's all the part, like gloves are good when you use them properly, but they're also great if you use them properly and you use the right color and you
Yeah.
maintain it and you store them properly and you make them available for your employees to use where they don't have to find them and
Different
stuff.
sizes
Yeah.
for them.
Having different sizes is a big
Yes.
thing because if my hands are small and we only have extra larges, that's running risk of gloves getting into your product or me
Yeah.
just not using them. And
Yeah.
vice versa. If we only have smalls and my hand's an extra large,
You're
I
gonna
can't
break
fit in
it.
that glove. Yeah, you're gonna break the glove every
Break
single time. So what's the point of a glove, right?
And my biggest thing is them not wearing the gloves properly as
Yeah.
far as they'll be touching everything and then go touching food.
Yes.
Oh.
I've seen them where they wash the gloves.
Yes, that's a great segue into like kind of the next part of it. When you're wearing the gloves, what to do with them? Like when is the right time to wear a glove? So the general rule is for ready-to-eat foods, you have to wear gloves.
Yes.
That means the product is going from your hands to the customer's mouth. Ready to eat. We kind of talked about ready-to-eat foods
Yep.
last week or last month with our
Storage.
storage. So back to ready-to-eat or RTE food, you want to wear gloves anytime you're handling ready-to-eat food. So perfect example on a menu, a salad. A salad is not getting cooked to the proper temperature to kill bacteria or pathogens or anything like that. So therefore, you need to wear gloves while preparing that salad. Now, if you're cutting fish up for the entrees and you're cutting them into portion sizes and you know they're going to be cooked later on, you don't need to wear gloves for that during that prep. We always recommended it because your hands are going to get it gross, and why not wear them? It's just common sense too. But by the letter of the law, you do not need to do that because that is not a
You're going to
ready-to-eat
cook
food.
it.
Yeah, you are going to reheat it or cook it to the
Yes.
proper temperature. So gloves are always needed when handling ready-to-eat
Yes.
foods, so
Yes.
RTE foods.
Makes sense.
The other thing that we see a lot, I'm sure Linda sees as much as I do, is people wearing gloves for way too long. Like they'll be cooking and using them for a whole 4, 5, 6 hour shift and not change their gloves out. And they'll be like, well, I changed my gloves or I wore gloves, everything's fine. Yeah, but you also clean something, you also grab something, you use the dirty towel with them.
Cross-contamination all
Yeah,
over the place.
Exactly. Wearing gloves is not an excuse to not wash your hands.
Yes.
Okay, that's the baseline. So we had a rule, and I think it's in the book, every time you change your gloves, you wash your hands. Again, because your hands are sweating in there, debris or moisture could have gotten in there, food product could have got in there, and if you're going to put on a clean glove, that you're handling gloves out of a box, you can contaminate those gloves with your
Yes, you
dirty
can.
hands.
Have you guys ever seen somebody wash their gloves like with their hands on? I've
Yeah.
seen that. Is that proper?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was going crazy
That
the other
is
day.
a quick way to get a couple points deducted on your health insurance.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I feel better about this because
Yeah.
I was watching this
Yeah.
going, I shouldn't say something, but
Yeah.
I should say something at the same time.
Your gloves are not your skin.
Yeah.
So they don't handle soaps or disinfectants as well as your skin would. So if you ever see somebody washing their hands or washing their hands with gloves on in a sink, that's 100% wrong. It's a nice conversation you have to have with them, but it's absolutely wrong.
Turn around and walk out if you're the customer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, because
If that's going on, guess what's going on in the back of the house? You can't see.
exactly, yeah. And it could be just a new employee, it could be just new
Well,
training, it could be something like that.
yes.
But again, if it's your own location, your own restaurant or food
Yeah.
service establishment, make sure you're training that properly.
Yeah.
That anytime you need to wash your hands or change your gloves, you're washing your hands.
That makes sense.
So if your gloves are so dirty that you feel you need to wash them, you take them off, you throw them away, you wash your hands properly, you get a new pair of gloves, and then you continue work. It's 20 seconds out of your day to do that. It's
So-
not very often and not very long.
Now, my question is, let's say you have something that's getting ready to go into the oven, but you have toppings on it or something that
Mm-hmm.
goes on it that's not cooked. Is it no gloves for the putting it in the oven, but gloves for putting those extra ingredients on?
Great point. So what you do with those? Utensils. That's where your
Okay.
utensils come into play.
Okay.
So having the right tool for the right product. So it's a great example because you'll see people, do I keep one glove on and one glove off? And for one for ready to eat, one for not. Just use utensils. Use your tongs, use your scoops, whatever you want. Because that's your hand is not touching the product, the utensil is. And then you can just sprinkle on top.
And that goes towards sanitization, which you can see on demand at RiverBender.com/video or SafeFoodSpecialist.com.
Yep.
But okay, sorry,
Yeah.
enough plugging. These are cool gloves.
So to put gloves on properly, because I think that's a big thing. So I'm wearing gloves now. You're gonna take them off, right? Take them off inside out, so any debris that's left in there stays in there. Use your other hand, grab by the collar, and fold it into each other, just like that. So now you have a little bundle, and you throw them away. To put gloves on. Now my hands are a little wet from sweating, but they should be easy to put on. So you'll see these gloves are kind of like stuck together a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like to shake them out just a little bit.
Don't blow into them though.
Do not do this. You'll
That's
see
a
this
great
all the
point.
time. You'll see people go. Well,
You contaminate the
you
glove.
blow on somebody's food. Like a pizza, you're gonna go. No, you're not gonna do that, right? So you don't blow on a glove or in a glove. One thing I see a lot too is people they'll be wearing an apron and they'll go like this to loosen it up. Well, you just got whatever dirty stuff was on your apron on your glove.
I didn't even think
Contaminate.
about
Yeah,
that.
on your glove.
There's another.
Yeah. So little things like that matter because
Yeah.
who knows? You could have been preparing raw chicken before,
Or
you
you
got
could-
a little raw chicken juice on your glove, and now you're hitting it with your handle, and you're going to prepare a salad, and now that raw
Yeah.
chicken's on that salad. So you take the glove, you take the
Hold on,
handle.
hold on. We got a special guest. Come here, Nancy.
Come on.
We haven't seen Nancy in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy. I'm doing good. We're
Come
talking
on
all about
closer.
gloves.
Come on a minute. We didn't see you. There we go.
Glove.
Oh, those things are fun.
That's a lot of excitement for gloves.
Well, show me how you use it.
Okay.
Are we still talking about gloves?
Yeah.
I saw Nancy. We had
Yeah.
to bring Nancy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Hi, guys. How you going? I love it.
We're talking about not blowing into gloves.
Never blow into a glove.
Never blowing into gloves.
Big germs.
Big germs.
Big germs.
Big germs.
Can't take those out.
No, you cannot.
Good seeing everybody. Good
Thanks, Nancy.
Come back next
hand.
Sorry, I had to. Every time I see
She's the best.
Nancy, she
She's the
really
best.
is.
Fan favorite.
I like your haircut, Nancy.
So don't blow into the gloves.
Don't blow into gloves. Just shake them.
Yeah.
Loosen them up just a little bit, and then obviously you put them on however you can. Now I usually wear an extra large. These are larges, but
Oh yeah, and you're a little wet.
yeah. So
Now,
little
can you
tougher.
put those on with rings and everything?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
recommend
Well,
that?
you're
Okay.
only allowed to have a plain band
Oh.
with that's by food safety
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
No jewels or anything. Plain band. I used to say plain metal band, but there's a lot of silicone bands out
Yeah.
there today. So
Yeah.
just a plain band.
and then with the other gloves, do the same thing.
Just shake
Shake it out. Yep. Like a Polaroid picture. Anybody remember that throwback?
Oh my
Coming back.
God.
They're coming back. My sister just bought one, and my grandma, I never forget. They took a picture, and my grandma went, "Well, I'll be goddamn." We'll bleep it out.
Alright, so you put the other one on. Oops, see I ripped that one.
Oh, now just grab.
Just throw it out.
Okay.
Yep. Throw it out. These boxes come with 100 gloves in them or more, so.
So it's
It's
one of those
fine.
things. If you're someone that's new in the industry and you break one, don't freak out that you're running through supplies.
Nope.
They're a dime a dozen type of thing.
A glove cost, a couple pennies. A lawsuit for someone getting sick because you didn't wear a glove, it's a couple thousand. So,
Oh,
which one would you rather?
Yeah, well,
which one would you rather do?
Glitter egg.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yep. And then I just like putting them on each finger, making sure they're nice and tight to my fingers.
Linda, have you ever had anybody in your class kind of like talk to you about their methods with gloves and maybe it's not the way it should be, but it's something that's worked for them? And what's your advice for that? Just follow the book and stay to.
Stay tuned. There's no exception or deviation. I was the right word.
Yeah.
From it. Yeah.
There's not much of a gray area in,
No,
in
there's
glove
not.
usage. Yeah.
And the biggest complaint is people misuse them.
Yeah.
They touch money, then they touch.
Or
food,
if they touch your hair
this.
or something.
Oh yeah, and the biggest thing, you touch your head 20 sometimes an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They found that out during COVID, which mainly be in the nose, right?
Yeah.
We just do that. So you learn to control your hands.
Yeah.
Quit touching yourself, and then do proper use gloves.
Yeah.
Or use the gloves properly. And that's a big deal because it's hard to do. People forget.
Yeah. Anytime you would have to wash your hands if you're wearing gloves is when you should change your gloves. So think about it this way: if you aren't wearing gloves, you scratch your head. You'd want to wash your hands, right? You touch chemicals or something, you'd want to wash your hands. Same thing with gloves. If you're wearing gloves and you scratch your head, you change your gloves, you wash your hands.
Yeah.
You touch chemicals, you change your gloves, you wash your hands. So it's very similar.
Just getting in that mindset.
Yeah.
And if you're in that kitchen all the time, you've got to get in that mindset.
Yeah.
Well, and how perfect is this? I mean, we just had 4th of July when this is airing. I mean, think about all the upcoming barbecues, too, for Labor Day
my
and
God.
things.
Yep.
We're going to be cooking for a lot of people using gloves. This is a perfect time to kind of refresh because I've seen how you guys prepare your food sometimes.
I've seen it too.
Well, CJ, that's a good thought. Not just for professional, but how about that 4th of July picnic?
Absolutely.
You ought to have some gloves there.
Yeah.
You know, that is a very good point, and they're not expensive.
I don't make very many good points, Linda. Let's say that.
Yeah, and you're right. Like family gatherings, like I wear gloves in my house when I cook for a bit large families and stuff like that. I'm also washing my hands.
Okay.
But they're always readily available. You can get them at any store. Like I'll usually get my nitrile gloves from a beauty supply store because it's
Sally's
same
Beauty
thing.
Supplies
Sally's,
where
that's
I go
Yeah.
and get it. So
There you
Because
go.
they
Go
have
to
the big
Sally.
boxes, they have my
Yeah.
size, and I like wearing the black or purple gloves, so they have those colors. And
okay.
they're nitrile, and they're generally priced pretty well, a couple bucks a box, so not too bad.
So before we move on here, on average, how long do you go with before a glove change?
20 to 30 minutes.
That's what I was kind of wondering around that ballpark.
Yep. For new openings, when I used to open up new restaurants, we would set a timer in the kitchen every 25 minutes or so, and that would be like a mental thing, like timer go off, okay, change your gloves. Start
How
back up.
cool is that?
And that would just be to get you in the mental.
because by law, you have to change them every 4 hours. And as I teach in my class, please don't follow this rule.
This is the
It's
one
one of those things, there's too many pathogens on those gloves
Yeah.
by then, and you should change it out even more often. But for the test, right? And it's one of those things, for the test, it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
In real life, don't do that.
It also depends too, like if like on my line I have one person doing one job, they can get away with it for a little
Yes.
bit longer.
Yes.
Like
'Cause
if
it's
your
not
one
the
job,
same
if
thing.
your one job is salads, that's
Yeah.
all you're doing. You're not touching anything else. You have utensils and things like that.
Yeah.
You can go an hour. That's fine with me. But if you're somebody like a runner or something like that, you're going back and forth between different stations, then you have to do it a little bit.
I'm
more
going to bring that up.
frequently.
I'll be on another slideshow in my class. And I said we couldn't do 30 minutes on gloves.
well, we're almost there now. And
Okay, but we got some more to
we
cover,
do.
too.
This is
Yeah.
the coolest thing. I mean,
I
right
want-
off the